Hello, I'm back. It is Tuesday evening. It's a little bit after 7 o'clock p.m. But, some interesting stuff today. Yes, interesting stuff happened on the bus this afternoon. This is a work rant, by the way. But anyhow, the kids weren't bad or anything, so no drama, nothing like that to talk about. But anyway, here's what happened on the bus this afternoon. The woman who was supposed to come back to work today actually did not come back to work, which leads me to suspect that she is out for a reason other than what I was actually told. Which, I mean, really, technically it's none of my business, but it still is annoying when, well, like, if you're the one having to pick up the slack when a coworker is absent from work, you know, technically them being why they're gone is really none of your business, but if you're the one having to pick up their slack, then it just annoys you, and it just sort of gives you this feeling of entitlement to know the reason, why aren't they at work, and why am I having to pick up their slack. But anyway, she didn't come back today. So, her kids are on my bus again. Now, this is middle schoolers. This is kids, these are 8th graders. They're like 13, 14 years old, and, they can be so obnoxious. It's so weird because the way with middle schoolers are, they'll have like, at least with my kids on my bus, they'll have like 3 really awesome days where they're sitting in their seats, they're talking at a normal voice level, they're not being jerks to each other, they're not throwing anything out the window, they're not smarting off to me, they're not trying to talk back to me when I tell them, when I have to correct behavior or anything. They have like a few really good days. And then just out of the blue, bam, they're just terrible. Like little freaking monsters. Like something, like those, like little furry monsters that like come up out of the ground or something and just attack you and eat you until you're just a pile of bones, and then they move on to the next victim. Like in a horror movie or something. I mean, like these little vicious little piranhas that just want to attack everything around them and drive you crazy and eat you and make you miserable. But today, they were loud, but I mean, I can cope with it. You know, I had like 30-something kids on the bus, maybe 40-something. I don't know. I don't count them every day or anything. But having someone else's kids on my bus kind of ticks me off because since I don't know really who these kids are, I can't put a name with a face. If one of them does something and it warrants me having to write up a misconduct form, I don't know who the kid is. I have to ask somebody else. And having to go to that trouble, the more time passes between the actual incident and the kid actually being in trouble, like it'll fizzle out and the kid won't receive any consequences and they will have gotten away with whatever the hell it is they did that pissed you off so much. But they were loud, and after I got to my elementary school, I found like trash paper and gum wrappers and all sorts of weird things on the floor. And of course I picked it up and just put it in the trash or whatever. But one of them, or probably a couple of them, and it's always boys that do this, take pencils and will break a pencil into a whole bunch of little pieces and they'll like throw them at each other. It's like throw them and then act like, oh, I didn't do it, it was him back there or whatever. They'll throw them at each other and the little bits of pencil get everywhere. They get like down in the crevices around the seats, they get on the floor. It's just a pain in the butt to deal with it. So, there was that. Then this afternoon on my elementary route, they were actually okay. My little boys who like to play with their Pokemon cards got kind of loud a couple times, and finally I had to just tell them, okay, the Pokemon cards have to be put away, y'all need to just compose yourselves, sit in your seats, the Pokemon cards can come back out tomorrow morning, and you can have them out and play with them as long as you're being quiet. If you're screaming and yelling, and you're shouting, and you're getting all excited, and standing up, and trying to move around your seat too much, then I've got a problem. So, had to nip that in the bud. But actually, I was actually running early. I had a full load on my elementary this morning. I wasn't missing any kids. And so I had to go to every single one of my stops. And usually when that happens, I end up running late. And I end up running late getting back to the bus compound, and I clock out late, and I get home late, which I hate. But I was running like early. I was running 3 to 5 minutes early through like most of the route. And then there was that point where I was like at my third to last stop. And I turn around a corner, I make a left, and there's like this kid, like teenager, it's a boy, and he's on a bicycle that's like obviously way too small for him. It's like a kid's bicycle. I don't know why they do this, but I'm sure you've seen kids around, teenagers riding around on bicycles that are way too small for them. Some adults do it too. But he had on like a hooded jacket, and he had on shorts, but actually I couldn't really tell he had on shorts unless he turned sideways a little bit, because they were sagging down off of his ass so far that only he could just see like his underwear. You couldn't tell he had anything on other than just his underwear. I guess boxers, I don't know what they were, if boxers, briefs, whatever you call them. But and he had in headphones, so he didn't know that there was a bus behind him. He couldn't hear the engine. And so he was just pedaling along slowly, like he didn't have a care in the fucking world, just pedaling along, and I'm behind him, and I'm like, come on, man. And like, eventually, you'd think that someone on a bicycle would like try to be aware of their surroundings. Like they would check behind them, or check to the side, or just kind of look around every few seconds, but he wasn't doing this. I mean, literally, I just saw the back of him and his butt, like his underwear, hanging out, and that was it. And he was pedaling really slow, and I was stuck behind him for several blocks. And he wouldn't move, and I thought, okay, well eventually he's got to turn into a driveway, or he'll turn down another street, or he'll move off to the side. Something will happen to where I can get around this idiot, or I can just go ahead and go about my business. But no, he just stayed right there until I had to make another turn to get to one of my bus stops. And he pedaled on. He never even knew I was behind him. And it set me back. Oh my god, by the time I got back to the bus compound, that little turd has set me back like 5 to 7 minutes. Oh my gosh. Well, not that I would ever want anything to happen to somebody on a bicycle. Like, I believe in like sharing the road and everything, but I hate to say it, but some of these people I see on bicycles and motorcycles, people in cars, some of them, you kind of wonder, like, if they're going to get the Darwin Award. And you kind of wonder, like, how is this person still alive? How have they not managed to drive off of a cliff? I mean, they're not paying attention to what they're doing. They're driving or operating what it is they're on pretty erratically, and you gotta wonder, you find yourself wondering, how is it that this person has not already been eliminated from the gene pool? So... wow. So there's that. But it was such a lovely day out today. It was in the 70s. It was sunny. There was a breeze. And I opened up all the windows of my bus, opened up the roof hatches, and it was so pleasant. Normally on a school bus, if it's sunny and warm outside, like in the summertime, the driver gets very, very hot because school buses, at least not where I am, don't have air conditioning. The kids get plenty of air because they can open up all those windows and they get all this air, but the driver, that's me, sitting up front, I've got like one window and it's like, I don't know, I mean I can't show you the size in the frame of the camera lens, but anyway, I've got the one sliding window on the side that opens up, but I'm up there getting all of the heat from the engine right through the dashboard, and I've got this huge glass windshield, and it's like a freaking greenhouse. Like all the sun just pours right in on you, and like if it's like actually hot outside, oh my god, it's miserable, especially sitting in a traffic light with all that freaking sun pouring in on you, making you really hot. Like you'll get off, you'll get off the bus and like your clothes will all be stuck to you, and your scalp will be soaked, and your arms will be like all covered in like sweat, and you'll just be so miserable. It's horrible. Like I've actually gotten off of my bus before and gone into the bus compound and opened up the freezer and just stuck my head in and closed the door a little bit just to get that cool like on my face and on my neck. Oh my gosh, yes. But today, it was so nice out today. It was like, like I said, it was in the 70s. It was sunny and there was a breeze. But it was like just the right temperature to where I don't have to turn on the heat. In fact, I had the heat valves completely shut. No heat at all whatsoever. But so I didn't have to turn the heat on. But, it was cool enough to where I wasn't boiling and miserable. Like, it was just pleasant. I'm like, this is such a good day to be a bus driver. Bus drivers love fall and spring. Winter, no. Summer, no. Well, for one thing, we have summers off. I mean, but if you live in the Ohio Valley, like summer starts in like April. It gets to be like 80 or 90 something degrees, and it lasts all the way through September. It doesn't finally cool down until like the middle of October. And it's miserable the whole time. But those months in August and September can be so miserable for us. But today was actually a really good day. Oh, also this morning, I went to Best Buy and got one of these doodads. This is a little microphone. You can. I'm sorry about the glare. Is that better? Okay. It's a little microphone, and you hook it into a voice recorder. Now I have this voice recorder that I bought it a couple of years ago for a different purpose. This little guy here, and I actually never even took it out of its package. So like I took it out of the package and like looked at it and made sure everything was there, and then put it back and squirreled it in with some stuff, and I still have it. But yeah, there it is again, my little voice recorder. And so anyway, but I wanted to record myself playing my Yamaha keyboard, so that there's some like music and stuff in the background of my videos for certain things I want to do. So I'm going to start getting myself like a nice music pad built up for my videos, so they're not totally boring, because just me talking can be kind of boring. So, but I got this so that I can get, a better, like, I can get, like, both speakers, the sound coming from both speakers of the keyboard. So, but yeah, it's got little microphone holes on both sides of this little cylinder-shaped thing, so, excuse me. It's got a clip on it, so I can, like, stick it pretty much anywhere I want. Yeah, so I got that. So, yeah, that's what's going on today. Oh, I may as well just kind of let everybody know, in a few weeks I'm having surgery. I'll explain why in a different video, because I kind of want to get this video over with quickly, because long videos seem to be a habit that I'm getting into, and I need to just kind of cut it out. But anyway, I'm having surgery in a couple of weeks. It's actually going to be on Monday, March 28th. That's the date that I've been scheduled for surgery. And it's surgery that is going to fix a problem that I've been having for a while. And it's going to make it so that the problem never comes back again. It never bugs me again. So anyway, it's going to cause me to miss an entire week of work, and then spring break is going to immediately follow. So, but yeah, I'm going to be having surgery, and I might do a video, a really more detailed video about the surgery. But if I decide to do that, then I'll give everybody a warning ahead of time at the beginning of the video that the subject matter I'm going to be talking about is going to be kind of, I don't know, it's somewhat gruesome. I don't know. It depends on. I mean, I like science and I like anatomy. I've always been interested in that stuff. So hearing about, like, I don't know, brains and kidneys and blood and freaking like anal tissue or whatever, it doesn't bother me. I don't mind hearing about it. I don't mind, I could sit and talk about childbirth all day if I had to. It's not a big deal to me. And toe jelly, or eyeballs, or what, I could talk about all this stuff and it wouldn't bother me. But yeah, so before I do that video, I'll give you guys another heads up, so that if you're interested and you want to hear about it, great, you know it's coming. But if you're uninterested and you don't want to hear about my insides and what the doctor's going to do to them, then that way you can opt out of watching that video. So yes, I'm having surgery in a couple weeks, and so while I'm recovering, I really don't know what I'm going to do video-wise. So hopefully it doesn't put a kink in my plans to continue this as prolifically as I'd like to. So, but who knows, since I'll be at home, like, with nothing else to do, I mean, maybe I'll be posting, like, tons of really stupid-ass videos about things that you guys probably aren't interested in. So, also, I'm going to be on, like, a ton of pain medicine, so we'll see how this goes. So, yeah, I mean, hey, the videos might be even more interesting if I'm on pain meds, because, like, maybe I'll be, I don't know. Oh, wow. So, yeah, so that's what's going on today. But being that I'm going to miss an entire week of work, and I actually have already missed a lot of work, So yeah, I've missed a lot of work actually because of the problem I'm having taken care of. But anyway, my paychecks are just going to be crap because I burned through my paid sick days at work. But being that I'm going to miss more work and I'm going to continue to get crappy paychecks, I went ahead and took a big chunk of money that I had set aside to pay for my portion of being the boyfriend, getting a place together. Because, like, we had talked and we decided we were going to look for a place during spring break. I was going to drive up to Cleveland and we were going to, like, try to find, nail down, find, like, a rental property, like a house or something. Like, that week. And we were each gonna write a check, like we were gonna like split it pretty much, I guess. I mean, like he had like what he was gonna cover and what I was gonna cover. And so, long story short, because like of my crappy health situation lately and the fact that I'm going to miss work on top of the work I've already missed, what I ended up having to do was actually take that money that I had set aside and I went ahead and had to pay some fees that are due ahead of my surgery. The hospital where I'm having this, in the clinic where I'm having the surgery done, they're privately owned, or there's some weird rule about, like, because of their ownership status or whatever, they can charge you ahead of time, like, for whatever reason. I don't know. Like, somebody who actually is a nurse who works in one of their facilities explained this to me one time. A few years ago, I can't remember everything she said, but yes, very nasty, but not illegal. But, that was like $500, and I'm like, oh my freaking god. But anyway, I had to pay that. I also had to pay a fee in order to have the hospital or the doctor fill out my Family Medical Leave Act form in order to turn in so that my time off gets approved and everything. And so, I had to pay for that. But then I also decided to just go ahead and pay the full, like, remaining balance on my 6 months worth of my car insurance. So that's one less thing that I have to fiddle around with every month while I'm stuck getting craptastic paychecks. So at least it's out of the way. And my boyfriend, he's real sweet about it. He's very patient and understanding. He knows I don't have a lot of money. And, he seems to agree with me that, yes, it really sucks that all this crap is happening, but if it was going to happen, at least it happened at a time where I could address it immediately and actually pay for what I need to pay for in order to get things done and take care of business. So, and it may mean that we may have to wait longer to get a place together. I don't know. But if that's what it means, then that's what it means. So, nobody can help it. Unless, like, money, like, drops out of the sky or something. Which I don't think that'll happen, but it would be very, very nice. I think most people would agree. So, yeah. That's what's going on today. And, this is getting kind of long. So, well, no, not that long. 20 minutes, maybe? Oh. Just looking at my clock going, I've been talking forever. Okay, I'll shut up. Bye.